Arpaio and Minutemen co-founder Chris Simcox.
Tomorrow we celebrate the birth of the father of our nation, George Washington, so it's fitting that a rare document written by Washington's fellow founders make an appearance here in Tucson. Outside, it was a patriotic celebration fit for the old Pueblo, and inside the Arizona Historical Society, an emotional crowd beaming with national pride. So what was it that managed to get hundreds together, some dressed in colonial garb, bright and early on a Sunday morning? The Declaration of Independence. Well, almost.
There's a lot of history here, and it's really that history that today continues to propel us to understand the freedoms that we fight for.
This history Congresswoman Giffords is referring to is one of just 25 copies of the Declaration of Independence left from around 200 printed the night of July 4th, 1776. Before the age of instant electronic communication, this broadside, as it's called, was printed by John Dunlap and sent by horseback across the 13 colonies to the generals in the field and even to King George himself.
What a great opportunity for young people to really understand what the Declaration of Independence is all about. So I had to go back, get my copy, pull it out and read it again.
This specific broadside was miraculously discovered on the back of a painting purchased at a flea market for $4 back in 1989. The copy of this priceless message of freedom found its price 10 years ago, selling at auction for more than $8 million. A special find both kids and adults can appreciate.
And being able to see things from a century or two ago just still here. That was pretty cool.
Now you can see the Dunlap broadside. That's the name of the copy there of the Declaration of Independence. You can see it for yourself at the Arizona Historical Society until tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock. And that was really cool. I got to tell you, I love history. So seeing that and seeing everybody out there patriotic, it was a lot of fun.
Are you kidding? On the back of a painting from a flea market is where this thing was.
It makes you want to look out when you go to yard sales and flea markets and thrift stores. You never know what you're going to find.
You never know. That is the true definition of a hidden gem.
Oh, absolutely.
Wow.
Yep.
Very cool.
Weather's next.
Then gathered and prayed as the ship sank. Well, this weekend, Southern Arizonans have the rare chance to see an original print of the Declaration of Independence. The document is currently on display at the Arizona History Museum, complete with tight security. It is one of the first published versions of the document, printed back on July 4th of 1776. Only 26 original copies still exist, and organizers of this exhibit are thrilled to have what they call the birth certificate of our nation right here in Southern Arizona.
The rarity of something that is such a part of the basis of all of our democracy in this country, and here it is in Tucson for people to look at.
And you still have a chance. The document will remain on display tonight until 8 o'clock and also tomorrow from 8 a.m. until 4 p.m. After that, it will continue on and head back home. The exhibit is free and open to the public.
Live, local, late breaking. You're watching KOLD News 13.
Straight ahead, a
Olympics banner at the top of our homepage. A piece of history is in the Old Pueblo tonight. One of the 25 remaining copies or Dunlap broadsides of the Declaration of Independence is at the Arizona History Museum until tomorrow. A ceremony was held this morning and people are free to visit and see the document up close. The copy on display was purchased at an auction 10 years ago. Cowboys and cowgirls.
This is Fox 11 News at 9.
Many Americans will go their whole lives and only see the Declaration of Independence as a picture in a book. Well, here in Tucson, thousands are getting to see it up close. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. I'm Deanna Morgan. Since the Declaration of Independence was signed July 4th, 1776, only 25 original prints remain in existence and only a couple can be viewed by the public. One of them is here in Tucson right now, and lots of people have gotten a rare chance to see it.
It's a lot to take in a short time.
Cool how I can actually get to see it with my own eyes.
A lot of words with a lot of meaning and a lot of history that most Americans will never see.
It's rare that it travels west of the Mississippi.
For 2 days, this rare print of the Declaration of Independence will sit guarded by Arizona Rangers on the east wing of the Arizona Historical Society Museum in Tucson.
To actually see something that was produced the evening of July 4th just gives you goosebumps.
I never thought I would ever see this in my life.
Maeve McIntyre hasn't taken American history yet, but she knows how prolific this document is. She almost missed her chance to see it.
Yeah, because we were supposed to go to a movie today, and then her mom called and said, oh, there's a Declaration of Independence. I'm like, whoa, okay.
You don't have to be an historian to know this is practically a once-in-a-lifetime event.
These people were putting their lives on the line because at the time that they approved and wrote the Declaration of Independence, this was called treason.
This is one of several copies distributed in 1776.
Really taken around on horseback, and they were brought to the various communities and the leaders of the 13 colonies.
A lot of times people don't understand what it is to be free, what it is to have the rights that we have.
It really makes me think that I'm important, that I actually have seen something that not a lot of people get to see, and that it's just really amazing, and I feel lucky.
Well, tomorrow is the last day to view the Declaration. You'll have from 8 to 4 p.m. This is the first time it's ever come to Tucson. The man who owns it, Norman Lear, lives in Los Angeles. He bought the Declaration of Independence, the one you saw in 2001, for over $8 million.
Wondering where exactly.
Yeah, so we'll get that information. A piece of history in the old Pueblo tonight. One of the 25 remaining copies or Dunlap broadsides of the Declaration of Independence is at the Arizona History Museum until tomorrow. A ceremony was held this morning, and people are free to visit and see the document up close. This copy on display was purchased at an auction 10 years ago. It's quite a keepsake, isn't it?
All right, when we come back.
Live, local, late-breaking, KOLD News 13, live at 6.
Welcome back. I'm Heather Rowe.
And I'm Dan Mari. Southern Arizonans are feasting their eyes on a rare piece of history, one of just 24 surviving original copies of the Declaration of Independence.
And as KOLD News 13's Jim Becker tells us tonight, the connection to this treasure reaches well beyond the paper on which it's printed.
This document has been authenticated by Sotheby's Auction House and is actually older than the signed copy of the Declaration of Independence now on display in Washington, D.C.
So this is a typeset copy.
And it's only very recently we've been able to see this copy. For the better part of 200 years, it was hidden inside a picture frame until a Philadelphia resident bought it, the picture that is, for $4. Once uncovered, it sold at auction for $8 million.
It looks like it was printed yesterday. I mean, it's a pristine copy. It's not yellowed, and the ink is still black.
I think it's great that we have the interest, especially the young people who are here today, and they're able to see the very beginning paper that began our country, the United States of America.
In fact, historians tell us you won't find an earlier document with these words, the United States of America, than this one. Some of these visitors and some of the volunteers claim a real connection to it.
It's fantastic.
George Lippard tells us he has an ancestor who actually wore a uniform like this one during the Revolution.
I've been to Boston so many times. I've seen the Bunker Hill, and it's fun. I think I'm wearing my wife out, though. She kind of rolls my eyes. You're doing what again? I said, well, I'm volunteering again over here.
Here at the Arizona Historical Society, they're aware Tucson residents at the time helped the fight for independence by chipping in a few pesos.
And enough money was raised to buy a mule, which was sent back to the cause in the colonies.
This is the only copy of the Declaration of Independence on tour. From here, it goes to Miami, Florida. From the Arizona Historical Society on 2nd Street in Midtown, I'm Jim Becker for KOLD News 13, live, local, late breaking.